I'm curious, we talk so much about players. You got to block out the noise. Obviously, you can't let that stuff affect you. But I mean, football or Philly is a crazy football town. Like with the emphasis that gets placed on this game, how hard was that to do for you? How hard might it be for the Eagles players this week?
Well, it's tough playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, just in general. The demand and the appreciation that they have for the team at the same time, I think, that and the fact that it's a flagship organization, all of these things come into play. And so, it's that added pressure because if you don't win, you're going to hear it on Monday. You're going to hear it on Friday, depending on, what happens, or Tuesday. And so, we try to always make sure that, we was all on the same page. The preparation was always heightened throughout the week. And I always tried to make sure I was on my P's and Q's and knew everything that the Dallas Cowboys was going to try to do when they had, I think, what is the Marcus Ware and those guys, Orlando Scangic. They had some good guys on that defense. And so always a tough opponent, and they always came to play.
A lot of scrutiny on Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts this week coming out off of that loss to San Francisco. Honestly, you look at his numbers, and to me, I mean, the guy's still playing really well for whatever criticism you want to throw at him. I'm curious, as a guy whose mobility helped him out so much during his career, if Jalen is dealing, if he's uncomfortable, if he's dealing with injury issues that are maybe limiting that, how difficult do you think that is if he's not completely comfortable playing the way he's used to?
No, it's tough. I remember when I was a young player, I had AC joint sprains and sprained fingers and all these little nagging injuries that as a dual threat quarterback you endure. But you're not going to feel as good in week 3 as you did in week 1, and in week 12 as you did in week 8. So injuries happen. We learn to play with them and not make excuses. It's easy to go to the podium and say, "Oh, my shoulder's hurting and I can't really throw it away." I've thrown it over the last couple of weeks. I was watching one of my games, going to sleep, happened to catch one of my games last night. It was Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings, the game that they run.
Right.
And so I was listening to I can't remember the commentator's name, but he was saying that pretty much Mike has 2 AC joint sprains in each shoulder, a bad thumb, and all these things. And I'm watching myself as I fight through it for my teammates, and I would not make an excuse or let anything deter me from playing in the football game, regardless of the outcome. Accountability was most important. And so it was Marv Albert, by the way. So yeah. So just to hear that and understand what was going on. Hear that little piece of it and know, like, we fight through injuries and we find a way to make ourselves available.